An award-winning author and podcaster is coming to a local bookstore to celebrate the release of his latest novel. Joining us is Teague Bohlen. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in. So let's talk about this book, Escaping Denver. What is it about, and what can readers expect when they pick it up?
It's a lot of fun. It's a sort of a conspiracy theory, cryptid. Oh yeah,
so they can see.
It's all. It's about a conspiracy theory, government sort of quasi-government organization underneath the Denver International Airport, and so very weird stuff happens. And a team of local podcast fans, because this is based on a podcast that's now it's just starting its 5th year, and it's super popular. And I can say that it's brilliant because I have nothing to do with the podcast. But the book is sort of a partner to that podcast, so it's within the same world, but it's its own story. So you don't have to know the podcast in order to read the book.
That was going to be my follow-up. How closely does it follow the storyline of the podcast?
It really doesn't at all. It just it borrows some things, so the novel sort of acts as an Easter egg sort of for the podcast and vice versa.
Okay, so what drew you to the podcast personally that led to the creation of this book?
There were some really great creatives who started this podcast, and ironically enough, they'd never even been to Denver when they started the podcast. They just heard these conspiracy theories about Denver International Airport and this complex beneath the airport that was mysterious and rumored to be full of weird monsters and beasts and whatnot. And that intrigued them enough that they started this podcast. And then I interviewed them and eventually got to write the book for them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you previously won the Colorado Book Award, right?
I did.
So how did writing this book compare to past projects?
I normally write literary fiction, so I've written a lot of stories based in Illinois. Actually, I've been a regionalist for a long time. So a lot of my books, my last book, Flatland, was a collection of flash fiction, very short fictions based in central Illinois. And so this was sort of a big departure in terms of style and tone. It's just a lot of fun. It's been a really great trip to take part in. And for locals, for Illinois locals, Illinois is where I grew up, and it's near and dear to my heart. So I always put Illinois in my books if I can. And this one starts in Chicago, ends, this is not a spoiler, ends in Champaign.
Okay.
So Illinois, you know, there's a few nods there to, even though it's set in Denver primarily.
And you are going to be in our area. People can meet and greet you, right? And get this book, get their hands on the book themselves. It's happening at Bobzbay. Let's get the details on that.
Yeah, I'll be at Bobzbay in Bloomington, downtown Bloomington, on Saturday from 10 to 12 in the morning.
How important is it for independent bookstores to support authors like yourself?
It's incredibly important, and it's also important for authors and also patrons to support independent bookstores. They're the life's blood of the writing industry and the publishing industry, and we rely on these folks. So Bobzbay is a great store to go and support just in any case.
And for those who are like, oh my goodness, I'm going to miss it, are there other ways they can get their hands on the book?
Absolutely. I hope to come back and do some library stuff. I'm also a big believer in the local library system, so I'm hoping in the spring to come back and do some more stuff. But you can always go to my website, which is just teaguebohlen.com, or you can look it up on any place where you can find books. You should be able to find this one.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I wish you the best in all the book sales.
Thank you.
And I look forward to what more you bring out.
Thanks so much.
Of course, if you or someone you know would like to join us here on In the Know, just head to our website, 25newsnow.com. You want to follow the features tabs at In the Know and submit the form.